Alright, so I'm going to replace the MAP sensor. That's your manifold air pressure sensor. And then this is part of the PCV system. This is what your vacuum tube plugs into. That helps actuate your vents when you turn on your air or your heat. And then this is just the little rubber L I got to replace that was cracked last time. The van is a disaster. I was working the van all last week, and it might sound funny, I'm sick. I mean, I'm much better right now. I started feeling sick at the end of last week while I was working on this job, and then Saturday and Sunday, sore throat, swollen gland thing. Swollen glands went away on Sunday. I felt good enough to work, so I worked Monday and Tuesday, but pushed it too hard. And then Wednesday morning, went and painted that room out half day. And I had a headache and just blah. So it was a major sinus thing the last few days, or last couple of days. So I feel better today, but I could just tell not 100%. But this MAP sensor finally got here. A little thing, I love Rock Auto because their prices are good and you can compare. You can go to the info section on any part for each part, see what's there, and look at which one you want to buy based on their features. And usually Rock Auto gets the stuff to me pretty quick. I ordered these parts, and the first two came. The MAP sensor took over a week to get here. And I chose DHL on that because I wanted it quick. And I watched it get to the facility and sat there for a week. And it cost me money to do that, like extra money. So don't do that. Leave DHL out of the equation. But the CV axles I ordered were here the next day. So go figure. This thing took over a week. 2 giant CV axles, big heavy boxes, next day. I realized different parts of the country. I'm going to pull this cover, and I'm going to do these parts, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing as usual, so you can laugh at me, because just right here, not a mechanic, not a certified mechanic, that is for sure. How many times do I need to say this to you? I'm just winging it. All right, so our first thing is right there. That thing there, and then the L that the metal tube feeds into, and then the MAP sensor is right here, and it's, again, manifold air pressure. It's right there. I think I'm showing that. Oh yeah, it's right there. I'm going to get a flashlight, shine a little light on that, but that's it right in the center of the screen, I believe. So it's interesting, both of those parts, I guess they call that your upper manifold. That's called a plenum. It's what houses your spider injection system. You see me take it off before when I did the spider injection system. Both of those parts were left on that thing when I cleaned it. I'm not having any issues really, but just getting back to something I said in earlier videos where I like to replace full systems instead of just parts within a system, because if one part was bad, oftentimes other parts in that system are going bad or they're going to be bad. So just makes sense. That was probably a little too close on my face. I apologize. But, because, I mean, you don't need this that close. Scary, right? Scary. As I was saying, I feel like it's a good idea to replace these things. I don't think I'm going to notice an improvement from replacing them. I just want to redo them because they're there, they're easy, they don't really require tools. The MAP sensor you have to pry straight up. Place this down on the carpet here. I found some Marvel mystery oil in the van, so I'm going to put some of that on this seal here. But basically, you just take a screwdriver and you pry that straight up, and you unplug it. Obviously, then you put your new one in and plug the new one in. Pretty straightforward. The other one you just spin out, and yeah. So let's get on with that. The new one has 2 of these. You only need one. You only need this one. So pull that off. Leave this one on. Save that. All right, let's give this a shot here. Now this valve, what's plugged into it is the, like I said earlier, it goes to your, I just want to pull this whole thing out of there. This has to do with your vacuum for your actuators, and The mod is really to lose this L that this, I don't know if you can see this on camera, but there's a tube, hard line coming to this. The mod is to lose that altogether. Just get yourself a 1/4 inch piece of flexible tubing, hose, and attach that to this part here and where it goes in the lines up front. There we go. So this is cracked right here. You should be able to see that. Put the new one in. Oh, that's tough. I'm going to pause the camera for a second. All right. Just because it was easy to grab, I think you can probably use just about anything. Rub that on that seal here. That stuff, the stuff I like to use, the dielectric grease probably would be fine. Some WD-40, that sort of thing. I don't think it really matters all that much. Let's pop this back on there. The hardest thing is fitting in this seat here. I'm sure my hand is blocking everything. Easier said than done, as usual. It's because this thing is on here. No, I don't know if that's going to be right. Nope. Go all the way over here. That's interesting. All right. Huh. There's only 2 ways you could put it on, and that's the way it's got to go. So it doesn't actually line up in the same orientation. This line where you're going to plug into is further towards the passenger side than the original was. Stick that back on there. Should be able to see all that. And then I'm going to rotate this. Stick this on here. Put this back in, and now we are good to go. So that's done. Next is the map sensor. Well, that's a pretty big disaster. I knocked that over with the cap off, so I got to sop up all that stuff in the carpet. That's a pretty big bummer. Yep, I'm still sick. Well, I'd be on to doing this map sensor already if I wasn't trying to sop up all this shit. I got a lot of it up. The good news is, you know, whoever developed this product, kudos on the scent that you added, because it's kind of got this bubblegummy, sweet kind of scent. Beats the hell out of motor oil. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to spill something in the van, spill something that still smells pretty good. That's another tip for you. Professional mechanic tip. If you're going to spill something that smells good. All right, it's going to be a little harder to capture this on film. This map sensor. I'm just going to reach in and try to pull up on it first. Oh, came right out. Let's get the wire off. I should have probably taken the wire off first. Might require 2 hands. I think it does. Let's see here. Laying on the front seat. Gee whiz, this is harder than pulling it out of the manifold. There we go. Alright, well, look at that. Gasket was busted up there, or whatever that is, that rubber grommet. Made in the USA. That doesn't look that old to me. We're replaced with this new one. Let's get some Marvel Mystery Oil on there and try not to spill the rest of it all over the inside of the stinking van. Probably not the best video for seeing what's going on. I apologize. I just want to get it done at this point. I'm going to plug this in. Let's do it right here. Hang on a second. Okay, that's nice and snug. Get this sucker here. I'm going to push that down. See it right in there, maybe. There we go. Snapped right into place. That's it. That sucker's in there. Snug, correct. All right. Oh my God. Oh. Blue collar yoga. I don't know how much of that I caught, if any. I just lubed that thing up, plugged it back in, stuck it back in the manifold, just in case I missed that. It's in place now. This whole thing could have been over in minutes if I hadn't spilled. I mean, that's just what you come to expect now, right? I bet you, some of you were thinking he just did that on purpose for the entertainment factor. No. Also, I forgot to plug this thing in when I put the cover on, and that's the second or third time I've done that. And the other part of it was hitting the plastic as I was driving, and I heard something rattling around in here. It's just because I didn't plug this in last time. This is the switch for your cigarette lighters. So, all right, I'm gonna button everything up. I'll probably test start it real quick. I'm sure it'll be fine. Let's just do that while I have you here. Smooth, baby. That low rumble is the exhaust. You just hear it more now because the side door is open and everything. So, yeah, I'm going to button this sucker up, and I'll give you a little parting moment of zen, some thinking. Just want to point out, I turned the air on. It's on hot. But it's blowing nice and hard, and something, I'm going to turn it off. Something I didn't mention, which is interesting. I turned the air on the other day and it wasn't blowing very hard, and I thought it had more to do with that patch I did up front. But the fact that it's blowing much harder now and I didn't address that line where it meets up front tells me it probably has something to do with that valve. That valve probably wasn't really working properly, or had something to do with the crack in this rubber here. There's not even a valve in this. That's a straight hole. The one I just put in has like a diaphragm, I think, in it. I didn't really inspect it very hard. Huh. That's interesting. Anyhow, things seem to be fine. Hang on. Got a car next to me. I can't get this door open all the way. I realize I never film me putting this back in. I always film it coming out. I'm gonna give you guys a little treat. You don't normally see this part of it. These are marked left hand and right hand. So without filming it, I get this whole thing off in like maybe 3 minutes, which I think is pretty cool. Put it back might take a little longer, plus I'm talking to you. And careful with that. Drills a little fast. Just ordered a Makita 18 volt ratchet, mechanics ratchet. Just putting that off, but I figure I'd give it a shot. Just because it's, should get into places tighter, and it's gonna, using the power does save a crap ton of time with all this stuff. Let's not forget to plug this thing in this time. Ground in here. It's good. Remember, don't forget to plug this in. I want you all to yell at the screen as I'm doing this to remind me, as if I can hear you. Just remind you, I can't hear you. But here we are. Here it is. I'm plugging it in. It's plugged in. Go to the junkyard and get more of these. I'm taking it on and off so much I feel like I'm wearing stuff out. I don't know how real that is, but there might be something to that. Alright. And the T30 in here. Get these that's still recording. Yep. Alright. Get these in here. That doesn't seem very tight, does it? There we go. That's better. There we go. All right, we just got to get the two bottom bolts in, and we'll be done. Done with this. These are the ones you always want to make sure you finger these nuts. All right, real easy to lose these nuts here. Ooh, this thing wants to over torque. I'm looking forward to getting that mechanics ratchet. Overdoing things. Not good. I'm doing this by using the force here because I can't see what I'm doing. Where is it? It has to be. Well, look, I'll get this on. I'm done. Ooh, I'm tearing something in my knee. I'm literally tearing my knee right now as I speak to you. I got this outside thing on my knee that if I bend it too far and twist a certain way, I'm literally tearing ligaments or something there. I'm so used to it, I kind of ignore it, but that hurts. Anyhow, we're calling this did. And she's running good. And I just want to show you how easy that was. It really didn't require any tools whatsoever. Just my fingers. And as I stated earlier, try not to spill crap all over the inside of your van. You'll be much happier. I'll catch you guys next time. I hope you enjoyed laughing at me. Bye. One last thing here. I sopped it up pretty good with the paper towels, but then I put some, well, it sure does bring back memories right there. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's baking soda. So that's an old trick. You spray, you spill red wine on your carpet at home. Look at that. I thought I got it all up, but you can see this stuff really does the trick. So I'm going to vacuum that up with my handy dandy trusty Makita little mini vac, which I actually have in the van here. And then maybe I'll sprinkle a little more down, but that's already doing the trick there. pretty stinking good. And again, it doesn't smell all that bad.